Welcome along. The women's action done for the day. On to the men's side of the draw we go. We've seen 50% of the men's action already. Now we're on to groups C and D today. And we start off the men's action on day 3 of the World Games here at the men's blind football with Colombia against Spain. And it's certainly weather. Both countries, to be fair, it is absolutely boiling out here this afternoon, as we've of course seen 2 games already this morning. Alongside me is Dixie Dean, our co-commentator for this one. Obviously, you spoke just off air about how Spain are in transition. You don't know a lot about the Colombian side, but one thing that is for sure is that we could see potentially a real decent game here, as certainly the quality will certainly step up here.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a quality game, but Colombia are always there or thereabouts in the South American Championships. Obviously, they're competing against Brazil and Argentina, who share the spoils normally in competitions down that way. But Colombia are always like 3rd or 4th in South American groupings, so a good side. Spain are in transition. They were the top team in Europe for about 20 years, but unfortunately all their players got old at the same time, and they've all gone on to pastures new. So they've got a relatively new squad, so they're just learning and developing.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Spain.
Colombians, after they did their anthem, were very much given a bit of a rallying cry. They certainly did, even before they stepped back out onto the pitch after their warm-up was completed. So here are then the lineups for the opening game of Group C in the men's blind football tournament. And both sides certainly, in Colombia's case, have done in very colourful kits. Well, Colombia line up like this. Johan Ardilla is the number 1 in goal. Jon Hernandez is the number 7. Juan David Perez is the number 10. And then the final 2 players in the lineup are Freddy Duyan Lopez and Juan Gonzalez, the number 9. Juan Gomez, Julian Yaramillo, Alex Martinez, Nicolas Coca and Jesus Lopez are the subs for Colombia. Fernando Carrillo is the head coach with their guide Jonathan Ramirez, of course, helping out the attacking team. Well, for Spain, they are like this. Seferino Sanchez is number 1. Juan Jose Garrido is the number 9. Alvaro Gomez is number 14. Captain Sergio Alamar is number 10. Javier Sarrato is number 13. Daniel Barrenechea, Julio Sanchez, Victor Acevedo, Unai Sanchez and Enrique Hierro are the subs for Spain. Antonio Ruiz is the head coach and the guide is Emiliano Jimenez. Well, of course, we've already seen groups A and B in action on match day 1 of the men's blind football tournament here in the World Games in Birmingham. The action earlier on today, India well beat by Argentina by a 4-0 scoreline, and Germany and Austria played out a stalemate in Group B, so it certainly sets up for an interesting, tense final round of matches there. But we move on to the men's action. Colombia-Spain, first of the fixtures this afternoon. Referees then Christian Jung, Mark Heap, Perry Gascoigne, Natalia Molina. The scorer is Julia Calvo, and timekeeper is Mayara Crispin. You mentioned, of course, there, Dixie, about Spain, how, of course, a lot of their older players have now moved on. It's a younger, fresher team, is what you were sort of saying. Again, you know, you don't know too much about this Colombian side. Could Young really outweigh whatever Colombia provide this afternoon? Colombia, as I say, the South Americans, they're always in the top 4 in South America, and if you're in the top 4 in South America, you ain't going to be bad. So I would have thought, without having seen Colombia play, that they're potentially going to be a little bit stronger than the Spanish side. Up until a couple of 3 years ago, Spain were a really, really good side and being the top European team. But as I said, they're in a transitional period now and rebuilding and restarting, and they're a bit of an unknown quantity. But we'd make it interesting because it's going to be difficult to call it. So I'm just hoping you'll get a really good, fast game, and the officials let it flow, and we can get everyone off the seats and clapping and cheering. Well, what is interesting is the kit that Colombia have got. I mean, certainly the most creative and colourful kit we've probably seen at these tournaments so far in both the men and the women's category. Colombia, of course, flag is yellow, blue and red. Every bit of that is on their shirt, as well as a little bit of white tinge on the bottom end of the shirt. Predominantly yellow the shirt, predominantly sort of navy blue the short. What is definite is that the socks are red. There's a lot of different patterns. There's a little bit of red sort of scattered on the Colombia shirt. There's a little bit of white and a little bit of blue there as well. Spain with a straightforward sort of sky blue kit, shirts, shorts and socks matching the sort of skyline. A few grey clouds about, but in the interval between the last women's game and the first of the men's game, my goodness me, it was absolutely roasting. It was one of those where I might as well have brought a towel to wipe the sort of sweat off my head, and very much so feel at home in these sort of climate conditions. Do you think, Dixie, before kick-off, that can play a bit of a part in some of these tournaments, you know, with the warmer climes and whatnot?
Yeah, I can remember when I used to be involved with the England team, when we used to go and play in South America and places like that, and the heat does affect you. Especially if you're playing around the sort of midday, and when you go to a foreign country to play, you're under the auspices of their organisation. So if it was to their advantage for England to play at 12:30, is it 12:30 you did play? And it's quite difficult, and it's very difficult to keep the concentration levels up if you're getting hot and a little bit tired. But we've got a German referee and an English referee here, so hopefully they'll let the game flow.
Well, of course, we saw in the last game in the seating area, in those blue seats and the railings behind them, the German flags. And of course, there's no German involvement in this encounter, and of course they were in the last women's match, so the flags have come down. We're flagless at the moment, but there are still bums on seats, which is good to see as the referee just goes through his final checks before we get the men's action of the day underway. And it will be Colombia from right to left who will get us underway, with the number 10, Juan David Perez, and the number 2, Freddy Duyan Lopez. We have as well got a scoreboard back up and running, and away we go. And immediately on the front foot, showing excellent dribbling skills, is Juan David Perez. And within the opening 5 seconds, Colombia forced the save out of the Spanish keeper Seferino Sanchez.
Yeah, a good bit of action there. Very quick across the ground, kept the ball very close to him. Took it in a little bit too close to the keeper to get a decent strike on it, but he's forced a corner. So, yeah, good start by Colombia.
Seferino Sanchez probably wasn't expecting, as soon as the action started, to be kept busy and having to be active, but was very much able to answer the call and was awake and alert to deal with the silky footwork of Juan David Perez as they've taken the corner short over on the far side. Freddy Duyan Lopez takes a tumble. Spain looking to have possession. Captain Sergio Alamar is the man in possession. He carries on, goes over to the near side board and just overruns it. And out of play it goes for a goal kick as the ball was just towards us in our commentary position. There was a few times in the warm-up actually where there was strikes going towards our direction. If they didn't like our commentary that much, they could easily just try and say it to us rather than try and sort of hit us with the various shots that were off target. But you can already sense in the opening sort of 40 seconds or so there looks to be a real fast-paced element to this game, Dixon.
Yeah, this is going to be much quicker than the ladies' game that took place earlier on, and it's going to be frantic, fast, and yeah, hopefully a lot more goal-based action. And I'll pass you back over to Matt.
Colombia in possession over on the far side. Nice footwork in the middle of the pitch, just in the Spanish half, but it was just slightly overrun. Duyan Lopez competing with Sergio Alamar on his own up there, will go for goal and will hit it wide. It was a high effort looking to catch the keeper out at his near post, but does just go wide of Johan Ardia's goal. But it's the first sighting this afternoon for Spain in this encounter, as the fast-paced nature of this game doesn't show any signs of slowing down, as Juan Gonzalez now is in possession here for Colombia. Just going over towards that far side board. He's about 5 metres or so infield from there. There's a bit of a bang into it from the Spanish point of view. As Alamar is there to close it down. Duyan Lopez now in possession. Alamar just slipped on the halfway line. Ball at his feet at Duyan Lopez, and now he looks to try and find a fellow teammate, and Juan David Perez, who had that shot which the goalkeeper Seferino Sanchez saved. Down goes Juan Jose Garrido for Spain. There is a Colombia player down as well, which is Duyan Lopez, who's been heavily involved so far. Has to get back up quickly. He does so. Alamar on the halfway line, just trickling into the Colombia half of the pitch. Tries to play the ball forward to a sky blue shirt, and it's unable to pick anybody out. But you can tell by the pace of the game and the pace of the commentary, it's been very much a fast-paced start and no sign of at all any stoppages in any way. Both want the ball in play and both want to try and get towards goal and get the first one as quickly as they can. Alvaro Gomez is too strong for his marker, but the referee has given it in Spain's favour, as there was a little bit of a foul there by Juan Gonzalez, and it's a free kick, which is actually going to go, I think.
Yeah, it's a free kick to Spain. The Colombian player just tripped him as he was going past. The Colombia player seems to have got a problem with their foot, where we've seen 4 or 5 of them slip already. I don't know what type of footwear they got on, but they seem to be slipping on the surface here, and it's not because it's wet. Yeah, I don't know.
Certainly we'll be keeping an eye on that for the rest of this first half and beyond. It's a 4G pitch as Alamar goes on. Good work. It's the shot away. It's a good block there by Juan Hernandez, the Colombia captain. Gonzalez now looking far side towards Juan David Perez, from one side to the other. Whenever those Spain are able to get it. Here's now Juan Jose Garrido. Gives it away. And then the centre circle for Colombia's Duyan Lopez. Goes off the inside leg of Alamar. The red armband over his sort of sleeve on his blue shirt. Now the play it goes off Juan David Perez. It will be a Spain goal kick. Or throw out, as we've seen quite a lot throughout the day so far. Alamar.
Yeah, just to clarify that for you, Matt, when the ball goes over the touchline behind the goal, it's a goal clearance, and it has to be thrown. The goalkeeper can't kick it. It's got to be thrown out.
So it will be a Colombia free kick on the halfway line. All the Spanish outfielders inside their own half, right on the halfway line. Is this free kick? Julian Lopez and Juan Gonzalez are the two around it. They go short. Maybe they're working on something that they have tried in training, but the final intended target, Juan David Perez, has not been found as the Spanish defence gets it clear. Here is now Juan David Perez looking to shoot. He went down, trying to feign one way to shoot, but he went down himself rather than the Spanish defence, which was what he was planning to do, as Alamar is 3v1 with him isolated up there as the Colombians work so hard to win it back. Here is now Juan Gonzalez, still goes on, he's away from one, still goes on. Brilliant defending now by Javier Serrato, wearing the sort of greenish eye mask to make it easy for us to identify him, and it was a good bit of defending there as Colombia look to come on. It will be a corner kick, but you can see in the sort of way the Spanish challenges are going in, Dixie, they are going in with a little bit of venom. They don't mind leaving a little bit of bite on the Colombian players.
Yeah, they're certainly leaving a little bit on them. They've got to be careful, as I say, using the top half of the body when you're going in for a tackle is dangerous, and I'm sure the referees will be talking to them and encouraging them to get the tackles a little bit lower. But they're not breaking the laws of the game yet, but they're very close to getting the wrong side of it.
Corner is taken. It's a chance here for Colombia, and in particular Juan David Perez. Severino Sanchez able to make a decent save out of it as it came off his body. Alamar just trying to get his bearings and work out where the ball is. It is on the near side as the whole pitch now is got no sunshine on it at all, as we have seen grey clouds overboard and above us. It is now Alvaro Gomez trying to carry on and play a pass forward, but who he's found is Juan Hernandez. Just keeping it under close control. He's got two options inside the Spanish half of the pitch, but Spain are able to win it. Serrato is the man in possession, trying to clear it and struggling to do so. Down goes Juan Jose Garrido, knocked into. The referee, Christian Jung, says it's a Spain free kick, much to the annoyance of some of the Colombian players and staff, because they felt maybe Garrido went down a bit too easily there. Yeah,
no, he definitely he's nudged him over. It's plain to see the Spanish player had the ball and the Colombians knocked him off his feet. Typical South Americans are going to appeal for everything, so we best get used to it.
Yeah, thanks for the warning on that one there, Dixie. But so far, we've seen in 5 or so minutes of this game, both really will try and take the game to the other one. That is clear and very obvious to see, certainly from where we are. Spain take the free kick, goes forward. Alamar with the touch, goes behind him though. Heading back to their own half of the pitch are Colombian, trying to knock it back to the goalkeeper, Johan Ardilla. It's not the best, and it's gone out of play for a corner for Spain. So potentially here, Colombia could shoot themselves in the foot here by allowing Spain the opportunity to score. They have got a corner over on this far side. Alamar is looking to take it. Over there as well is Alvaro Gomez, who's behind him, just looking to tell him where to put it perhaps, or conjure something up here. 3 Colombian players in their final third. They will no doubt go out to try and close down the Spanish corner, which is exactly what they've done. Challenge goes in, Alamar goes down.
Yeah, the decision is a free kick to Spain right on the edge of the area. It's really dangerous. This is like 7 metres out. Not quite central to the left of the goal as we look, but the referee's adamant that it is a foul, and we will restart with a Spanish free kick.
It was very close to actually being a penalty. I mean, he did eventually fall in to the sort of area there, didn't he? Did the Spanish player, but he has only got a free kick for it, so there is a bit of defending here to do for Colombia. Johan Hardilla, who's yet to have anything to do in this game, is potentially going to have to do something here as we do get to see this incident. There was that challenge on Aramar, and it was without doubt a foul, as it was Freddy Duyan Lopez who committed it. There was another challenge going in on him, but it was his contact that would send Alamar down, the captain. Oh dear, just speaking in the ears of certain Colombian players, just trying to make sure that the wall is spot on. Ominous moment here in this game, perhaps. As the Spanish guide Emiliano Jimenez is just tapping the post and tapping them away. Spain will take the free kick. It is well blocked. Alamar got the shot away. I think it came off Juan Gonzalez, who was in the way of it. Here is now Alamar. Brilliant effort, brilliant save by Johan Ardila. We have just seen a top-class save, and that is one right in the Dixie Dean school of saves, because that was spectacular by Johan Ardila.
It was an absolutely fabulous save. He was going way to his left, and he's got across, and at a decent height. We're just looking at it again. The Spanish player comes across, swivels. Oh, it's a cracking shot, and it's an even better save, to be honest. Honestly, what a save.
He's about 8 metres out. He goes very close to the penalty spot. Central position, bang! You just expected that to nestle into the net, but a big left hand by Johan Ardea says otherwise and keeps it at 0-0. And that might just be potentially save of the day in all the other matches, as Spain have taken the corner from the near side. All the way over to the far side it goes. Alamar is down. They've not been afraid to be physical on the Spanish captain. He does get the shot away through the gap, but straight into the midriff of Johan Ardea, who gets 2 hands to it. There is now Juan Gonzalez, goes on, still keeps on going. Free kick goes in
Colombia's way. There was
Colombia's
a trip.
favour.
Yeah, there was a trip by the Spanish lad there. Colombia running through with the ball, and just a little subtle trip on the foot, and it's sent the Colombian sprawling, what, probably 12 metres out from goal.
It was Juan Jose Garrido who did block off the Colombian player. He has now stayed down, so certainly got a bit of a knock in the challenge that he was in for. 2 physios on to just treat him as he's lying facing the sky. We're going to get to see this save again. My goodness me, how good a save it was by Johan Ardea. It was hit with sheer power by Sergio Alamar, the captain, all on his own at there. Brilliant play, great effort. Ardila with the save, and that is one, Dixie, you never get tired of seeing.
No, as they say, it's one for the camera. Honestly, brilliant save. Oh, he's going to be dining out on that for a few years.
Well, there was a few members of the crowd, actually, that were up assuming they were going to start celebrating or cheer if they saw the goal, but they saw that save from Johan Ardila, which they probably didn't expect. As the man who just made the challenge and has got a bit of an injury, Juan Jose Garrido, is going to go off, helped off by 2 Spanish physios. And he's going to be replaced here in this first half. The sort of 6-7 minutes that we've played. They don't want to take any risk by keeping Garrido on when he's maybe carrying some sort of injury. So Colombia got a free kick here. We'll confirm very shortly who that player that has gone on for Spain in place of Juan Jose Garrido. It is Julio Sanchez who has gone on for the Spanish. So the first time we get to see a free kick in a threatening position here to shoot at Seferino Sanchez's goal for Colombia. They decide to go short from it. It's a chance here and fired wide. A little bit too high with the effort there from Juan David Perez, who has been the outlet, the one who's looked the most threatening for Colombia, but he just could not keep a shot down and, more importantly, get it on target. Spain try and construct an attack of their own. The throw out, I should say, from Sanchez is one that doesn't reach Alamar. Taken quickly by Colombia from the restart. Juan David Perez goes down well, still goes on here, finds the gap, looking to get the shot away, and Seferino Sanchez was diving, but it goes away from his left-hand side and out of play. But
I think he got a
Colombia
deflection
getting
on
closer and closer.
Yeah, I think it was deflected, so they got a corner out of it. It's got a touch. Definitely got to touch this corner.
Well, that was the first shot which he hit well off target that didn't take a deflection. This one did, as he carried on going. Brilliant play, got the shot away. Yeah, you can just see that little fake nick that takes it out for a corner over on that right-hand side. Colombia decide to just dribble in from the far side. Getting closer in field now is Juan Gonzalez. They're going to get the shot away. He does, but Seferino Sanchez able to get hands on it this time. Colombia finally get a shot on target. And the succession of shots they had, they did go very close early on with Juan David Perez, as this game still does remain 0-0 here. But we have seen Dixie, very much in contrast to the last game between sort of Germany and Austria in the women's category, where there was barely any chances on goal. We've been spoilt for choice in terms of the shots in this game.
Oh, they certainly made up for it. Honestly, it's just shot after shot after shot. The Spanish guy behind the goal is going to have to be very careful. He is treading a line. The officials have had a word with him once or twice, and he's just had another go at the referee for giving him the decision which he thought should have gone the other way. So he's going to have to be a bit careful.
No doubt he'll certainly be watching his tone, perhaps. Certainly the referees will be keeping a close eye on him. Seferino Sanchez throws it out. Here's an opportunity for Spain with Julio Sanchez, who came on for Juan Jose Garrido a few moments ago. Ball just rolls over the 14-metre line. Just inside Spain's half is Sergio Alamar. Plays it forward. Will go on through to the Colombian keeper, Johan Ardilla. Now Juan Gonzalez inside the Spanish half, over on the far side, doesn't use the boards, gets away from them. He tried to look for a teammate with a square ball in Juan David Perez, but in the middle and intercepting and catching it is Seferino Sanchez. Spain have lost out. Here come Colombia again. About 8 metres out is the number 9, Juan Gonzalez. Struggled to get the shot away. The Spanish defence there in the nick of time. They are struggling to clear. However, though, it is out for a corner with Javier Serrato, who just felt the best thing to do was not dribble out, but just kick it out as Colombia keep applying the pressure here. As this corner is going to be taken before they can make a change on the South American side. As we're going to see Alex Martinez come on. He's having a bit of a warm-up to himself as Colombia take the corner from the far side, drifting into the middle. Will not quite roll on through. Sanchez towards his goal line, but he will pick it up inside his own area as it did just drift in there. Here's now Sergio Alamar, bulldozing his way through, goes down, wasn't clipped. Good challenge, says the official, and now we carry on. Coming into the middle, about 10 metres out is Juan David Perez. Brilliant goal! He's deserved that. He's missed a couple of good opportunities, and it's sparked wild scenes on the Colombia bench. And Juan David Perez has scored a fantastic goal, and we have the breakthrough in this Group C game. Colombia 1, Spain 0, as it's flashed past Severino Sanchez from Juan David Perez.
Yeah, we'll just watch this again. It's a marvellous bit of skill. He's run fully 20 yards before. I think, does he pick it up here? Yeah, he's got it in his own half. He's going across into the top third, round another player, onto his left foot. Oh, and just smashed it. Smashed it from about 7 yards. Oh, my word. What a goal.
Well, if you're going to put clips together of the best strikes and best goals from this tournament, that is going to be right up there. That is an absolute beauty by Juan David Perez. He's had the bulk of the chances for Colombia, and he's gone close on a couple of occasions. He's been a bit off cue with some of his efforts, but he was not with that one. Brilliant finish, brilliant solo play, and the standout player for the South American side has got them in front with just over 6 minutes left to play, and it really was a special strike in their opening game of the World Games from Juan David Perez, who was given them the lead with 6 minutes left on the clock. Will that now potentially spark a reaction out of Spain? Here's Alamar, looking like they're going to do so already, stays on his feet, was very honest there, he has to pull that back, and the referee does so. So they've got the free kick in a very good position here of Spain, which is what we're talking about, 10, 12 or so metres out here, Dixie. Yeah. So potentially, so soon after going behind, they could get level here perhaps.
Yeah, it's about 12 metres out. The referee did really well there. I'll give some credit where credit's due. He let the play go on just a little bit to see if there was going to be an advantage. Then he could clearly see there was no advantage. The player was stumbling, so he brought it back. It was a clear foul by the Colombian. He did make a trip on the Spanish player, so he's brought it back, and yeah, good time to reply to Colombia's wonderful goal.
The referee is just trying to make sure everything's right with the Colombian wall. All the four outfielders in front of the goalkeeper, Johan Ardila, who may have to answer the call to make a save here, perhaps. Alamar is over this free kick, standing in front. There is another Spanish player in light blue behind him. Alamar's got his hands on his hips, as Emiliano Jimenez just taps the posts. Over there, the referee spotting something he doesn't like.
The referee's concerned about the wall breaking too early. As the Colombian on the far right is leaning out already. So
well, just before this free kick's taken, chance to see this goal again. And we talked about how we won't get tired of seeing that save, won't get tired of seeing that strike from Juan David Perez, because that was a thing of beauty. As Dixie pointed out, the number 7 for Colombia is pretty much very keen to get off the blocks. As Alamar gets the free kick, he hits it, but it's a scuffed effort through to the keeper. Of course, behind him was Julio Sanchez, who was the one who just drifted away from Alamar. Here is now Juan Gonzalez. He still goes on, trying to do what his teammate did. Gonzalez just slips, though, at the unfortunate moment as he gets closer and closer to the goal. But they are just at a walking pace, just getting through that Spanish defence. And that has got to be a concern for Antonio Ruiz, the Spanish coach, how Colombia just too quick and too fancy for them at the moment in certain areas.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Matt, I don't want to contradict you, but it's not walking pace, he's going football. Absolutely so quick across the ground, so quick. And unfortunately, because he's going that quickly, when he's coming to the strike, he's a little bit off balance, and he screwed it wide. But the Colombians, when they're on the ball, dribbling, just so quick.
Restart is taken. Alamar couldn't get it under control. Restart is Colombia's. They won't get the opportunity to take that yet because there is a timeout. As the only goal of this game from Juan David Perez separates the two sides. As the clock stops on 5:42. The bright sunshine has disappeared for now as the grey skies come in. A bit more of an overcast day, even though around us there is still blue skies around, but there is grey clouds, as I said, setting in, and there is as well a Colombian flag just in the front end of the stands. But we're going to see a different angle of this goal now, and we did speak about it, didn't we, about Juan David Perez and that goal. I mean, just sort of try and talk us through it from a sort of perspective here, Dixie, as they go for a colourful celebration as they polish it off. I mean, certainly is worthy of that celebration, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a great run. He's sort of picked it up in his own third, and he's gone at pace at them. When he's getting closer, he's dropped his shoulder the one way, come back the other way, done another one, got into the box, composed himself, and absolutely leathered it. And then we get the guy running on the pitch, and he's put his foot up on his knee, and his shoe shining, his boot. Absolutely fantastic.
Well, he's probably even saying to the number 10, Juan David Perez, we're not worthy of a foot like that can produce wonderful strikes within that moment, as the play will restart from Colombia's sort of goal clearance, as Johan Ardila is going to take it. But just before we will, the number 9 for Spain, Juan Jose Garrido, is just having his eye mask put on right by the referee. As he has now come back on after going off for just a couple of minutes after having the sort of wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, the referee's had to stop play there because he's actually interfered with the game. The ball was played up by the Colombian, it's hit the referee, so we're going to have a drop ball. It'll probably be uncontested drop ball, so Mark will just drop the ball into the Colombian player so we can restart the game.
The other referee on the other side to him, on the near side, is Christian Young. Marquis will now drop the ball to the feet of the Colombian player. He is telling Sergio Alamar to get back, step a good few yards away. He will eventually play it. It was the number 7, Juan Hernandez, the captain, who sends it away. Now is the goal scorer, Juan David Perez, on the halfway line. Towards the 8-metre line is now Juan Gonzalez, just going over to that right-hand side. Surely was blocked off there by Gomez for Spain. The referee and the officials on the pitch have missed that. Colombia, though, don't complain or appeal, they just get on with it. There is now Alex Martinez, who came on in this first half. With 3 minutes left to play, Colombia 1, Spain 0. In the opening encounter of the men's blind football tournament at the World Games in Group C. Here's Juan David Perez, he goes on again, surely he's going to get in number 2, no he's not. He just couldn't quite get it out of his feet as Seferino Sanchez, brave as a lion, dives at his feet and takes a bit of a knock on the follow through from Juan David Perez. He was brave, takes a whack, but it's proved to be very effective goalkeeping there.
Yes, yeah. The Colombian player was quite within his rights to go in onto the keeper there. The keeper didn't have the ball in his hands, but a fair dues, brave boy. He's put his head down right in amongst the feet, and he's made a cracking save, and he looks okay. He's just explaining to the referee, why did he kick me? I don't know, but he looks all right. So we're going to get going again. Referee will stop with a uncontested drop ball.
I trust your Spanish is a lot better than mine, Dixie, so I'll take your lead on that one. But it is one of those with the Colombian player. He hasn't really overrun it. It's just the goalkeeper's got a great starting position, so it is just difficult for him to eventually get the final shot away. So very good anticipation by Seferino Sanchez to deal with that as the number 9 for Colombia inside the Spanish half. Juan Gonzalez uses that to Sergio Alamar, who has had Spain's best opportunity of this half so far, but has ended up kicking the ball out for a Colombian corner there, and that was forced upon Alamar as Colombia have got a chance to try and go 2-0 up here with just over 4 minutes left of this first half to play.
Yeah. The best way to defend is to attack, and the Colombians are pushing up all over the pitch, and the Spanish player gets the ball, doesn't matter where it is, there's a Colombian there pushing them back. And here we go, Rob. Matt.
Juan Gonzalez takes it. He's got the English sort of padded gloves on as Gonzalez that makes him stand out from the rest. Here's Alex Martinez. About 5 metres out, looking to go for goal, and has led to a Colombia corner. Seferino Sanchez puts his hands on his head. He is pretty much sunk to his knees because he can't believe that's been given as a corner. He's apoplectic about it pretty much.
Well, he's watching a different game from me because that was definitely a corner. But a lot of passion and a lot of hot-headed people out there, and it's great to see, though, isn't it? It shows how much it means to them. Like, they're not just here to make up the numbers. They want to win.
Yeah, the touch behind came off the left boot, or left train, I should say, of Alvaro Gomez. Corner to take it from the near side this time, which Colombia have done. Goes into the final third of the Spanish half. Defended well there by Juan Jose Garrido. Again, though, the Colombians do very well to either force a corner or win it completely off the Spanish. Here is now Juan David Perez, I should say, from deep. Coming centrally, just over the 14-metre line. He's about 12 metres out. Goes towards the 10-metre spot, but Spain are back there with Sergio Alamar. Here's now Alex Martinez. He might have a go. Goes down. Was he fouled? Referee Christian Young says play on as he puts his arms apart to let the play continue. Bit scrappy in there. Shot comes in. Seferino Sanchez saves, but there is something that has led to Juan Jose Garrido going down, which the referee has spotted and has stopped play for.
Yeah, he's gone down and he's just been trampled on a little bit as the other players have gone past him. But another fantastic save by the Spanish goalkeeper. It was very sharp shot down to his right hand side, very close to his feet. It's probably the hardest place to get your hands down. It's close to your feet, and he's got down and smothered the ball. Great save by the keeper again.
He has been the Spanish hero, hasn't he, so far, as Seferino Sanchez made some crucial saves, and especially towards the back end of this first half. So the Spanish coach Antonio Ruiz and the Spanish squad have certainly got to thank their goalkeeper for making some big important stops. But unfortunately for him, he's not been able to keep a clean sheet because of a wonderful goal from Juan David Perez. Colombia look to come again. Here's Juan Gonzalez. Drifting over to the left-hand side, just away from the final third. It's now gone to Juan David Perez. Can't let him shoot his left foot, and does so. Sanchez may have got a save to that, I think, and he is causing so many problems. No matter how many players Spain are back, he just seems to find the room in the gaps to get shots away. Here is now Juan Gonzalez. Colombia doing everything but get a second. Is it going to change now? A low effort straight at Seferino Sanchez, who covers his near post to keep him out. Spain are living so dangerously. It's just relentless at the moment from Colombia. But now there's a rare moment in the game where the Spanish players are in the Colombian half, albeit the only one of them in Sergio Alamar, who goes down, surely blocked off he is, and has done brilliantly to get a free kick, as there was two Colombian players who collided into him, one of them being Juan David Perez. But my goodness me, how Colombia not more than a goal up here, Dixie? I will never know, as the free kick won't be taken for quite a while yet, perhaps because there's a Spanish player on the floor.
Oh, my word, take a breath, honestly. It's frantic. It wasn't a save by the goalkeeper, the Spanish. He's hit the post. It's come back off the post. It was, what a movement. He's moving across the box. He's so close, and he's no backlift, and he's just absolutely smashed it. Keeper's looked at it, so I ain't getting that. It's hit the post, and flew back into the field play. Brilliant stuff.
There's the couple of Colombian chances. If you're listening to this, probably really hard to keep track of. There's been so many. Juan David Perez in particular has been the forefront of them and the sort of main man for it. Juan Gonzalez has had a couple of opportunities. This was brilliant play to get that effort that Seferino Sanchez saved, as there is a Spanish player down. It is Juan Jose Garrido down again. We did see in the Indian game, didn't we, where they did have a player who went down with a bit of a wound and she had to go off at least twice in the game, and Garrido's down again for a second time as there's a different angle to this Gonzalez shot. He came in from the near side all the way into the final third, and as Dixie did point out, it was an effort that hit the post rather than the goalkeeper Severino Sanchez actually saved, but he did dive for it, so it was quite an easy mistake to make from where we were. But to be fair, it was clarified by Dixie that it was an effort that hit the post rather than the keeper saving, as the full black eye mask has gone off of Juan Jose Garrido here. It does maybe look like he may not be able to carry on. He's still in some discomfort. Maybe that injury or that problem he had when he first went down has come back to haunt him here, perhaps.
Yeah, it could well be. He's feeling a bit groggy, but there's only a minute and 3/4 to go to half time, so they've got 10-15 minutes to get him right then. But this is a fantastic advert for blind football. Really enjoying this match. Good game. It's pacey. Referees are letting it flow where they can, and yeah, great advert.
Unai Sanchez is the man who's replaced Juan Jose Garrido. Alamar is away from this free kick. Julio Sanchez is the man there on his own who's probably thinking about shooting at goalie, but there are two players away from him. Alamar standing in the final third, just past the 14-metre line, is Unai Sanchez. So a different type of free kick Spain are planning than what we've seen throughout the day so far. Maybe they do expect this to maybe come off the wall and perhaps come to one of the two players in Alamar or Unai Sanchez, who are lurking.
Can I just cut across you, Matt? The referee's table is indicating that is Colombia's fourth foul. So if they commit another foul, it will be an 8-metre penalty. You're allowed 14 fouls in each half.
Crossing a fine line there. Spain have this free kick. There is a large gap away from the near side of the wall. The number 9, Juan Gonzalez, to his left, Alamar is there. He might get past him, and he's got a free, clear sight of goal. He's tapping away at the post is the guide, Emiliano Jimenez. Alvaro Gomez is there. He's going to go for it. He goes low. It goes low into the wall. Comes back out to him. However, though, Colombia there to clear it. Alamar with the challenge and wins it on the halfway line. Still goes on. He's actually lost the trainer. Christian Jung left an option, but to stop the players, his trainer comes off and actually walking away from it, and has had his trainer just given back to him by the referee there, Christian Jung. As we don't mind having a bit of a break in play because it's been so frenetic in this first half with just under 90 seconds left on the clock, but it does feel like, Dixie, that going into the rest of this half and the second half, this is not going to stay at 1-0, I believe.
No, there's goals written all over this game. Just to clarify what I was talking about with the full foul rule. So now, if Colombia give a foul away, as long as it's a direct free kick foul, anywhere on the pitch, the referee will take the ball up and he'll put it on the 8-metre spot. Doesn't matter where the offence occurs, other than if it happens between the 8-metre spot and the goal, the player has a choice. He can take it from the penalty spot or he can take it from where the infringement was. So it's up to the player who's taking the free kick where he wants to take it. So it just clarifies it. It doesn't happen very often, but this game is so fast and furious. We're up to 4 fouls quite quickly.
That'd be something that Colombia will have to be very wary of. Unai Sanchez inside his own half, actually nutmegs Juan Gonzalez, but Alex Martinez there to win it off Sergio Alamar. He goes on, carrying it a long way. Try and stop him if you can. Can he get the shot away? It will just go on through to Severino Sanchez. Javier Serrato did well to fend him off. And then it goes through all the way to the Colombian keeper, who sinks to his knees and then overhead throws it to Juan Gonzalez. Dribbling away, going from The left to the right, goes over to the far side, across the box. Just goes out of it to the near side now with Juan David Perez. Not said that name for the last few minutes. Here he is, left-footed. Flashed wide of Seferino Sanchez's goal. Any bit of space he gets in and around that final third, he's always looking to shoot, and he goes close again.
There's another great shot. He's worked an angle on it and he just screwed it wide of the far post.
Another near miss again for the Spanish, who really are living a little bit on the edge, you feel. They would be quite grateful that half-time is upon us, but they've got 18 seconds to try and keep it at 1-0 as Juan David Perez looks to go on again as he's getting closer towards the final third. He was about sort of 5-6 metres out in a central position. Here's now Juan Gonzalez going up towards the 8-metre spot. About 10 metres out, and he won't get the chance to shoot as the final whistle's blown, even though he's put the ball in the back of the net. But it is Colombia who have the lead at the break. Juan David Perez's goal in the first half separates the two sides as the South American outfit lead the European outfit, as we get to see some first half highlights, and my goodness me, there has been a lot. Here's the opportunity for Sergio Alemar when he fired it wide. Spain had their opportunities, but so have Colombia, but there we get to see the best save of the day from Johan Ardila, keeping out Sergio Alemar. That is a save he's going to be absolutely proud of. Here's the Colombian goalkeeper. That would have put Spain 1-0 up, and certainly Sergio Alemar thought that was going to be it, but Johan Ardila had other ideas as the goalkeeper made a terrific save. Well, these are some of the highlights for Colombia. Juan David Perez has been the main man for the chances. He had a very good opportunity. He's had some on target, he's had some off target. That one left-footed, he fired wide of the left-hand side of Seferino Sanchez, and then he would score a quite brilliant goal which is to come. There's a couple of opportunities that he has hit wide, and he would score an absolute solo spectacular in terms of brilliant footwork. He went from the near side, inside, into the middle, then towards the edge of the D on the final third. Bang, and in past Seferino Sanchez, who's been pretty much a colossus for Spain in the goal at times in the first half, but he could not do anything to keep out Juan David Perez there, who struck it left-footed, and it was a beauty that the keeper could not keep out. He does brilliantly as well in the first instance to win the ball off Sergio Alemar, then carry on, keep going, not stop, get the shot away, and then go into the back of the net. Brilliant play by the Colombian number 10, as they even had a great celebration to match with the guy just polishing off his shoe. And then there would be another opportunity. Sergio Alemar with the low effort, left-footed, which would easily be dealt with by Johan Ardila. And Colombia would have another good opportunity their own towards the end of the half, as Seferino Sanchez took a bit of a whack in the side from Juan David Perez. And the man who scored the only goal of the first half would have an opportunity which was blocked by Alvaro Gomez, the Spanish number 14, towards the end of the first half, which has been action-packed, which is fair to say. Juan Gonzalez was denied as well by Seferino Sanchez. Real feature of this first half. And then the last of the action would fall in Colombia's way. Juan David Perez, left-footed, would fire well wide of the goal and be off target. But it is here in Birmingham, the first match of Group C in the men's blind football tournament here at the World Games. Colombia 1, Spain 0. We're just under 10 minutes away from the second half restart, and here's a word from IBSA and a bit of a guide to blind football.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
Well, the second half of Colombia-Spain is about to get underway. 20 seconds or so away from it starting. Spain will go from right to left in this first half. All blue, light blue shirts, light blue shorts, light blue socks. Colombia, yellow shirts with quite a bit of red, blue and white scattered on the shirts. Blue shorts, again, a lot of yellow and red scattered on the shorts. But what is clear is that there's definitely one colour for the socks, which is red. And by the way, Seferino Sanchez, the Spanish keeper and the guide, Emiliano Jimenez, have been sort of given a caution by the officials for their conduct during the sort of first half. So they've got to be wary as the second half is underway. We'll reveal the two lineups very shortly for this second half. Here's now Alex Martinez for Colombia, running through the middle, going up to the 8-metre spot. He's just passed it about 7 metres out, does eventually lose his footing, nibbling away, and at him was Alvaro Gomez, but Martinez of his own is doing well to win it as he gets it off Unai Sanchez. He battles away over on that far side, right next to the boards, where we've not seen a lot of the play in this game so far. Two Spanish players challenging on Juan David Perez. Now Sergio Alamar is challenged. Perez still going on. Serrato with the challenge. Seferino Sanchez can't come out and claim. Perez takes it away from him. He's in the final third. He goes down. Christian Young quickly. The referee says no foul. Spain struggled to clear it. Eventually, the whistle was blown as Seferino Sanchez goes down. But we've seen already, Dixie, in sort of what we're talking, 70, 80 seconds of this second half. It's carry on as you mean to go on, because it's been fast-paced at the start of this second half.
Oh, and long may it continue. This is absolutely brilliant. Yeah, it's so quick, and the Spanish side are giving as good as they get. They're defending really well, and the keeper's having an absolute blinder. He's taken a knock there 5 or 6 seconds before, and just winded him a little bit, but yeah, he's performed some heroics this afternoon. He's going to go home with some bruises tonight, I tell you.
Yeah, he was wounded in the first half, wasn't he, when Juan David Perez went at his body and the left side of him, sort of caught him in the rib area, didn't he, when he tried to score and the keeper dived at his feet. Certainly is probably going to be getting some bumps and bruises, which may hurt the very next day, but he's going to soldier on and carry on, is Seferino Sanchez. Without him making the important saves he has at times in that first half, it wouldn't be 1-0. But certainly, though, you can say that about the Colombian chances. Spain very much not out of this game. They have shown that they've got enough to at least get one goal in this game, in particular with Sergio Alamar. Here is now Juan Gonzalez. That sort of 16 or so metres out, picking it through to the far side to Juan David Perez. They might rely on him to go on his own. It's into the net, albeit into the side netting with his effort. Seferino Sanchez knew that it wasn't going to trouble him and force him to use his hands or use his feet to make a save. As it has gone towards Alamar, it won't go beyond the centre circle and halfway line, as there's a Colombian foot in there. Just quickly, two lineups then. Johan Ardila is in goal for Colombia. They then have the number 3, Alex Martinez, Juan Hernandez, Juan Gonzalez and Juan David Perez on the pitch. For Spain, they have Seferino Sanchez in the green trainers in goal. The rest of the team then has Unai Sanchez, Javier Serrato, Alvaro Gomez and Sergio Alamar, who has again seen his left trainer come off. It happened in the first half and it's happened again in the second half, so the play will stop to allow him to tie it up, and maybe, I think, to happen once he'll just carry on, but to happen twice I think he might have to start changing his footwear perhaps.
Perhaps so. So the referee will start the game again with an uncontested drop ball to Colombia. They were in comfortable possession of the ball when he stopped it because of the trainer coming off. You obviously got to stop the game when the trainer comes off because it's just a safety thing. We don't want players running around with no trainers on and anything going into tackles, and all sorts of things could go wrong. So yeah, Christian's done the right thing, stop the game, and he'll give the ball back to Colombia.
Alamar is back up. There's sort of the black trainers on with these sort of red on the side of it. Looks as though that seeing it from where we are, where he's right behind us, looks like he's wearing some sort of ASIC brand trainers. As getting the ball in is Juan Gonzalez, but put out for a corner. First time of asking by the Spanish defence, and Javier Serrato who got that away. The man wearing the green eye mask, certainly standing out with all the other Spanish players, barring Seferino Sanchez, the keeper, because they're all wearing black eye masks. As Colombia have got themselves a corner, the first one of the second half for either side. Alex Martinez behind Juan Gonzalez here. Christian Young off the pitch, just hovering around the Colombian corner takers along the floor. Just past the 14-metre line is Juan Hernandez, Juan David Perez, just away from the final third, eventually tries to shoot, blocked off and crowded out by two Spanish players. It was Alvaro Gomez who was the man to stop him. Unai Sanchez up there on his own inside the Colombian half, but they do well to win it back, and it's knocked forward. Christian Young trying to trample back and make sure the attack carries on and it doesn't go off him, but it's left by the Colombian number 9 Juan Gonzalez, because it's gone off a Spanish player in Sergio Alamar, and it's a corner kick, and it's one of those games at the moment that you're really struggling to try and keep hold of, because it's just all happening all the time. It's so fast paced and so different to the game that we had between Germany and Austria in the final Group B game in the women's earlier on today. Juan David Perez goes down. Christian Young says no foul. He says he was blocked off and got caught there. Christian Young right behind it, had a bird's eye view, front row seat. He said there was nothing wrong with it. As you were, carry on. Here's now Martinez, just coming into the middle, just drifting in. Battling away is Unai Sanchez, as is his teammate Juan David Perez. Quickly off from the canvas after he wanted a penalty and wanted a foul, which he wasn't going to get. As Sergio Alamar gets there and clears it. It bounces off the far board as it now goes back into play. Shot comes in by Martinez, but wide, and out it goes for a goal kick. But one thing that I've noticed at the start of this second half is Juan David Perez is very much a marked man. There is not a lot of room for him to move around in, Dixie.
No, they're putting two players on every time he gets the ball. They're doubling up on him, which is probably the right thing to do. He's such a live wire. Every time he hits the floor, he bounces back up so quickly. I'll pass back over to you, Matt.
Here is now Juan Gonzalez. He now goes on, trying to get that little angle to shoot. There is now Juan David Perez. If he goes down, he gets back up. Still goes on, it's deflected. It just came off of Serrato, but Seferino Sanchez, who temporarily, for just a few seconds, looked like he might have been wrong-footed, but adjusted and was able to make a decent save out of it. Is Alamar on the near side. He is unable to keep the ball under control, but Colombia have just thrown it out quickly. Juan David Perez away from Gomez, getting close to goal in the final third. Loses his foot and he's back up though, springs back up, can't get the shot away, and then biting and getting it clear is Javier Serrato. It was a bit of a wild kick, to be fair, by the man in the green trainers, because he could have caught him but did get the ball, luckily for him in Spain, and it's not at the cost of a penalty. It's Juan Gonzalez. He still goes on. Slips a little bit but still on his feet, still goes on into the final third, and his effort with his left foot goes wide as he goes down, but Colombia really are going desperately in search of this second goal, Dixie.
Yes, they're really turning the screw now, and Spain look a bit shell-shocked to me. They can't keep up with the sort of pace and the intensity that Colombia are offering. This is a cracking game.
Juan Jose Garrido is going to come on, of course. He did miss just the last minute or so of that first half as Alex Martinez is fouled by Sergio Alamar. Bit of a frustrated figure is Alamar as he goes over to the near side with the Spanish coaching staff just to get some water into him. As Colombia have got themselves a free kick. They've done the bulk of the running. The bulk of the play has been inside the Spanish half, as Spain will make a change now. Unai Sanchez is to make way. Juan Jose Garrido is to come on.
Yeah,
Being reintroduced into this game.
Yeah, that foul there, Matt, it was a sign of desperation, really. The Spanish lads just got the wrong side of him. He just dragged him down to the floor, and I suppose for the Spanish benefit, it slowed the game down a little bit, give him a little breather and let him regroup a bit, and the coach can get some instructions onto them. But it was sheer panic stations in that defensive area of Spain for a minute or two there.
Well, speaking of panic stations, there has been a bit of panic every time Juan David Perez has had the ball. Well, Colombia, we saw a real star individual display from Johanna Aguilar and Gracia Sosa Berrenche in the Argentina-India women's game early this morning. Juan David Perez is trying to put on a good individual display of his own as Colombia have got a free kick just about sort of 13 metres out in a central position. It looks like one of those where it probably, looking at it from the sort of angles that we've got, it probably might just go into the wall here if they hit it sort of a low height. But if it does manage to go over it, then no doubt the goalkeepers having to call into some action here.
Yeah, he's either going to shift it to the right or shift it to the left and shoot. It's hard to say which way he's going.
Well, far left of him, right on the edge of the D, is Martinez. He does shoot though, does Juan Gonzalez. Does go through beyond the Spanish outfielders and into Seferino Sanchez. Now Alamar sees the ball cannon off the boards and try and forge a shot and get an angle to shoot from, and it will be a Spanish corner. He did do well there, did Sergio Alamar, when there has been times he's been all alone up there. He's done well to get free kicks or corners for his side. That was a good example there.
Yeah, he's battling away quite well up there, and all the time the game stays 1-0. Don't know all the pressure that Colombia are having and everything. Still 1-0. Spain just needed a breakaway score, and they could take a point away from this game. So as long as they can keep it 1-0, they're going to be right in the game, and Colombia can huff and puff as much as what they like. But at the moment, yeah, Spain's still there, and got an opportunity now.
Alamar from the corner on that far side, coming in field, and it's another save out of Johan Ardila. He made a top-notch save to keep him out in the first half, and he's made another one to keep out the Spain number 10, who really is seeing Johan Ardila, his counterpart, have a very good day indeed in terms of keeping him out.
Yeah, it was a good strike. It was going into the top right-hand corner as we're looking, and keeper's made a good save.
Little flick up, trying to find a fellow blue shirt there for Spain, but it didn't quite come off. Did Alamar foul Juan Hernandez? Christian Young says no. Decision goes Colombia's way. It will be a corner for them. Last touch off of Alvaro Gomez. Certainly, we did say just before the second half started how the Spanish keeper Seferino Sanchez and Emiliano Jimenez were cautioned and warned by the officials, but looks like they've been quite low-key as the replay shows of Alamar's second half attempt on Johan Ardila's goal. He was just able to get it onto his right side, then strike. The goalkeeper was equal to it. Strikes the arm of Serrato, which was down by his left-hand side. Hit into it by Juan Gonzalez, and it will be a Colombia corner again from the near side, right in front of us in our commentary position. Alex Martinez behind him, just with his hand on his back. Juan Gonzalez dribbles out from the corner position on the near side, looking for room to shoot, and does. Seferino Sanchez can't hold on to it. Serrato with a safe option in putting it out for another corner kick. They're adding up on the corners tally here, Dixie.
Yeah, the corners keep racking them up, but Spain are holding firm. As I said, there's still 1-0. They're still in the game, as we just saw. They went up the other end and had a cracking shot, and was another good save by the Colombian keeper. So, well, it's 1-0. They're still in the game.
Well, we certainly are seeing two very good goalkeepers on display here as the corner comes to nothing. It's gone straight through to Sanchez. Now Alamar, who goes down, gets back up quickly to his feet. He had to really, because he was all alone up there and they weren't going to give a free kick, the officials of Christian Young and Mark Keep collectively. Here is now Juan David Perez. Is there some inspiration from him as he tries to swing with his left side? He goes in and falls down into the turf. Spain now in possession with Serrato, and he tries to give it back to his goalkeeper Seferino Sanchez. He can't come out of his area, of course, so he has to let it run out for a corner kick for Colombia over on this far side.
Christian, a referee, right in front of us, and he let an almighty puff of wind out. I mean, that big inhale of wind. I think the referee's feeling it as well.
It's one of them, isn't it? It is one of them, isn't it? It's hard for us to keep up, let alone the referee out there. As Colombia have taken his corner shot, here is now Juan David Perez. He goes for goal and 10 metres out. The goalkeeper, I think Seferino Sanchez may have got a hand to it. Has gone out for another corner kick, but he is still producing big saves here.
Yeah, it was a strong left hand he put up. It was going up into the top corner. He's got it across really, really well. And you could see by his reaction how pleased he was with the save. And it was a really good save and a good shot, but good strong left hand.
Well, he is really having to think quickly, isn't he? As Colombia take this corner short. Martinez to Juan Gonzalez, goes down. Christian Young quickly able to decide that wasn't a foul. He's been very close to a lot of these decisions in terms of his positioning, isn't he? But what he can do is definitely give that. That was a clear foul on Sergio Alamar, who has gone down. He's been in the walls today and he's not been afraid to speak his mind to certain Colombian players. He's certainly playing a bit on the edge here, isn't he, as the Spanish skipper?
Well, yeah, he has to be. He's got to drag his team along with him. Get them going forward. It was clear for. I think we're going to have a card. We're going to have a card. No, I thought perhaps a Colombian had said something. Yeah, it was a professional foul. He's just taking the player down on the halfway line, taking one for the team. Oh, he has carded him.
Yeah. Juan David Perez has shown the yellow card for the foul on Sergio Alamar.
Yeah, it was cynical at best.
It does appear to be a booking, to one of the, I think, Colombian members on the bench in terms of the staff. So that's their name taken there. Confirmation of who that is will come very, very shortly. But just maybe losing their cool just a little bit there, the Colombians, in just a short flash there. Garrido with the ball forward from the free kick. Left by Juan Hernandez for the goalkeeper Ardila, and thrown out by Colombia to Juan David Perez. He goes on, loses his footing. Surely the free kick's going to be given there, but it is not. He did look like he actually lost his footing, but Alamar clipped by Alex Martinez, and they certainly are now targeting Sergio Alamar. And I think if Martinez gets away without getting a yellow card here, I think he's a very lucky boy there.
Yeah, I think the first one was more of a stumble, but the Colombian definitely tripped the Spanish lad coming forward there, and they're not going to give a card for it. It wasn't as cynical as the one before. The one before where he did get booked. He just I'm going to trip you, and I think the second one he's just given out is more of a missed-time tackle, but free kick to Spain.
Left-footed flick forward by Garrido into the final third. Goes off Juan Hernandez, and it will be a Spain corner. If it doesn't pick out a blue shirt, you just hope it comes off an opposition player, which it has. As Sergio Alamar is going to take it. This is by far the best dominant spell of the second half the Spanish side have had. Side, I think it's fair to say, Dixie, quite well known on the blind football stage are the Spanish. She mentioned earlier on in transition, and of course going from a older feel to a new crop and batch of players for the current generation. Corner does come to nothing though on the far side. Juan Hernandez to Juan Gonzalez, dribbling inside to the final third. Away he goes, trying to get the ring to shoot, and does. He's left-footed, but it was wide of Seferino Sanchez, who was diving, and he did go out of play for a goal kick. I think he actually did sprawl out of his actual area there, did Seferino Sanchez. He was trying to make sure he was going to try and keep it out of play, but it's been a lot more Juan Gonzalez having the chances rather than Juan David Perez in this second half for Colombia. Here's Alex Martinez, wins it off Sergio Alamar, going up towards the 8-metre spot. Serrato battling away. Martinez down, gets back up. The Colombian players almost, it looks like, got springs in their boots or something. As soon as they go down, they all seem to get back up as Seferino Sanchez with the ball at his feet, assessing his options, plays it along the floor. Lets the ball on the near side hit the boards and will reach Sergio Alamar. But it's away by Juan Hernandez. And it will go through to Seferino Sanchez, who'll let it go out for a goal kick. But it does look like now, Dixie, maybe the direction and momentum of the game is changing in Spain's favour, perhaps.
Yeah, they're definitely coming into it in the last couple of minutes, and they need to. Obviously, the clock is ticking down.
Here's Juan David Perez, still goes on. This would be a brilliant goal. But the ball has been won by the Spanish defence. As it does appear as though there has been some sort of issue here. Christian Young is blowing his whistle. And it looks as though Colombia here have been given a decision. I think it's a penalty, is it?
No, I don't think he's given a penalty. He's given obstruction. So I think what he's saying is that the Colombian lad has obstructed one of the Spanish lads. So he's got his arm up in the air. So that's indicating it's an indirect free kick. And the only thing I can guess, I didn't really see a bit interested to see the replay.
Well, there is that confirmation of the free kick being given in Spain's favour for obstruction, which is what is the reason for it. There was a bit of confusion there, wasn't there, as to what was actually going to get given, to be fair, but quickly worked out what was happening, and there will be a corner here.
Yeah, the guy behind the goal definitely thought it was penalty. He was jumping up and down. He wanted a penalty, but Christian was the referee was quite firm, and he knew exactly what had happened and stuck to his decision.
Well, that's been quite fiery at times, isn't it, in this game, as we get to see the incident again. This is what the Colombian guide was saying should have been a penalty. He was convinced, but the officials weren't, as we go back to the action on this near side. Right in that far corner of it is Sergio Alamar. We are right behind it in our commentary position. He's been forced back brilliantly, though, by Juan Gonzalez, but he does brilliantly to just motor away from him. Still he goes on. Has he been clipped by there? He was sent to the floor, was Sergio Alamar. Here's now Juan David Perez. Closed down by Alamar and Serrato. Serrato had a wild swing at him. And a little bit uncontrollable in terms of trying to make tackles as Serrato and clearances. Hasn't been afraid to swing his leg. Here's now Alamar, just coming out of the final third, about 10 metres out. Colombia, they're able to get it clear. But what we do know here is, Dix, is, my goodness me, we've got 4.5 minutes to play this game, and it's one of those you just don't want it to stop, because it's been just so action-packed, and we now actually get time to catch our breath, because there's been a timeout called as a corner's been given in Colombia's favour. Yeah,
it's been a great second half, and there's no signs of it. The pace easing up there. I think we're in for a cracking 4.5 minutes. We'll show some replays.
Well, Sergio Alamar with the best attempt of the second half for Spain, forcing a save out of Johan Ardila. He probably wishes he did come up against this Colombian goalkeeper, because he's denied him 2 brilliant strikes from a fair old way out. We're talking about 16 maybe or so metres where he's had those 2 efforts in either half. There's the Spain number 10, where he has been the sort of architect and focal point for the chances. Colombia have had chances of their own. And Gonzalez with a good opportunity where he struck it. Seferino Sanchez saved. He hasn't been as busy as what he was in the first half as the Spanish keeper, but still nonetheless has still maintained consistency in terms of saving and keeping shots out. Just going back to sort of the frantic nature of it, I mean, the referee, Christian Young, has had a couple of times where he's had both sides sort of going at him, wanting a decision in his favour. To be fair, he's remained calm, he's stuck to his decision. He's been very quick as well to go to the original decision, which has been very, very good to see.
Yeah, both referees are right on the case. You know, we're playing, there's 2 Latin teams playing, so you know they're going to appeal, which it makes it great, like, you know, and it just goes to show how easy you can get things wrong.
Corner is taken short from that right side. Well, I think the referee says Alamar didn't do anything wrong, as he just gets the shout from Seferino Sanchez just to play it. Good couple of yards, 2 or 3 yards back to the keeper inside his own half. Spain able to play it forward. Will there be late drama in terms of them getting a result on game 1 for them of these World Games Blind Football Championships? Colombia hold the lead. Here is now Juan Gonzalez. They want a second to clinch it. Still he goes on and will clinch it. Brilliant play by Juan Gonzalez. All his own work. Past Seferino Sanchez. He's beaten. And Colombia, with just under 4 minutes to play, lead by 2-0. And it's the 2 players who have been brilliant in terms of creating chances and getting shots away that have been the 2 goal scorers, and that might just be a bridge too far for the Spanish now, Dixie.
Yes, I think so. That's put the game to bed, but marvellous bit of skill here. You see him going across into the third. He's entering the box, and he's drilled it back across the keeper into the left-hand corner, as we look at it, left-hand corner of the goal. Yeah, great bit of skill again from I think the Spanish lads are a little bit upset. I think they thought there was a foul in the start of that play. But the referee didn't give anything. So, yeah, we're 2-0, and that should be Colombia picking up 3 points.
Julio Sanchez will now come on for the final sort of 3 minutes 47 seconds that remain of this game when we get restarted. Alvaro Gomez says adios to this game as he goes off. The sunshine is back out. No breeze, no wind in sight. There's the crowd are in, away to my right. And that sort of stand where the supporters are. There's Colombia do lead 2-0, but on the replay there was that shout for a possible foul. Do they have a case or not? Certainly is interesting. Spain certainly be pretty unhappy that goal has gone in. Here's Juan David Perez looking for more, looking to make it worse, and saved by Seferino Sanchez. Had to turn his body into it to keep out Juan David Perez, and boy did he. Big important save, and Alamar fouled right by the boards on the near side, just inside the Colombian half. You talk about the goalkeeper for Spain. Seferino Sanchez is going to have bumps and bruises. Sergio Alamar's going to have that, isn't he, Dixie? It'll be a free kick for Spain, which they've taken towards the far side. Hasn't quite gone to plan. Perez blocked off, free kick, foul by Julio Sanchez. Has come on as a substitute and has committed a foul on the man of the match by far, Juan David Perez. Well, has maybe now that second goal just completely killed all hope and momentum that Spain had? It just feels like that in the last few minutes since that second goal from Juan Gonzalez.
Yeah, the temperature's definitely dropped, hasn't it? You can looking at the Spanish bench and they're all calm now, and yeah, it's here we go, Colombia.
There's Juan David Perez, he's away from Alamar, shoots and it's in! Seferino Sanchez helps it in, it's too powerful a strike, and he's got 2. Colombia have got 3, the celebration's out again, polishing his left boot. Sanchez has helped it in, but Juan David Perez has 2, and Colombia lead by 3-0 as they're enjoying everything about this game, while Spain are not enjoying anything about it whatsoever.
No, Spain have been right in this game. It's a bit harsh on them, really, a 3-0 scoreline, because they have been right in the game. But it's goals that count, and Colombia got 3 on the board there. Another good goal. Unlucky keeper.
Well, what Spain don't want to do now is to simply capitulate. Here's now Sergio Alamar. Looking to take it all on his own. He won't leave it and won't let it run to Julio Sanchez. He has been quite frustrated a little bit in this game, whether it's challenges on him or simply just being denied by the save to the keeper. And then going on is Martinez. Was he fouled? No, he was not. As Christian Young quickly came to the decision that it was a fair tackle by the Spanish defence. Here now come Colombia again. Here's Juan Gonzalez. Still going on. Is he fouled by Serrato? Referee says no. Here's now Garrido. Will now go to Sanchez, who was in his area, closed down by Juan Gonzalez. And you've got to give Colombia a lot of credit, because as the temperatures have just steadily got warmer, they've not made, barring one substitute in this game, which of course was Alex Martinez coming on. So it just shows the fitness level of these players is pretty strong, isn't it? We've seen a whole load of changes in the previous two games, but not here at all.
No, they've kept going. And in this heat, it's remarkable how they can go at this intensity all these games. I'll let you over, Matt.
Here's Juan Gonzalez. Was in the final third. Thought he had his feet taken away from him from Serrato. Didn't go down. That might have been the reason. Juan David Perez loses his footing, gets back up quickly. Does get the shot away and does go down. Was well wide of Seferino Sanchez's goal. But this contest is over in terms of it being a 50-50 game, but Colombia still want more, as there's going to be changes in the offing here. And we did just say about how Colombia have only made one substitute. I think they're going to plan to make a few more, as Juan David Perez will now come off. Looks like he is just slowly hobbling off here as the Colombian number 10, but a special mention to him. Very fine performance this afternoon.
Yeah, he can go off and have a rest the last couple of minutes. He's done his job, and I've got to be honest, man, I'm tired just watching them. Honestly, the way they run and they hit the floor and they bounce back up again, and it's incredible. The fitness levels and their agility is just unbelievable.
Well, Julian Jaramillo is on for Colombia. Juan David Perez will just take in the sunshine for the final sort of minute plus that remains of this game, where they lead by 3-0. Here's Martinez coming up to the 14-metre line, dribbling close. It's a lovely pass, which has tried to pick out Juan Gonzalez. He's trying to get away from Serrato. Serrato on the floor. He's left himself in a bit of a mess, and it will go out of play for a Colombian corner. But it is just sort of showing in the end that the Spanish defence really are just getting tangled up in knots a little bit by some of the Colombian attacking play.
To be fair to the Spanish, they're absolutely out on their feet. They've worked so hard to stay in the game, and they must be looking at the Colombians and say, please, can you stop? I don't know.
Well, it almost looks like the Spanish have hit the wall, but the Colombian haven't, and the shot comes in from Juan Gonzalez, close range. Seferino Sanchez with the save. I think it came off his right shoulder and out for a corner. It was quite close to actually hitting him in the face, and if one of those balls does hit you in the face, my goodness me, it's going to see blood pouring out of your nose. But strong save by Sanchez, who's still in the final minute of this game having to make some saves to keep the score down, as it actually doesn't come off his shoulder, instead it comes off his inside right leg. I'm seeing the replays back, but he's had a fine game. Gonzalez chipping it through, going into the final third. Sanchez leaves it, but Alamar went in. The shot came in from Jaramillo, who got his shot away, and has just gone out of play for a corner kick as it took a nick off a Spanish player. And we'll take the corner short on the near side, right in front of us. Here's Juan Gonzalez. Trying to play it across towards Jaramillo. Alamar then to Sanchez, who plays the ball along the floor through the middle. Won't reach Alamar. Here's now Unai Sanchez. Trying to get the ball under control. Just forced back by Juan Hernandez, the Colombian captain. Still working hard, still running around in this heat. He did mention it before kick-off, it is conditions that suits them, but Severino Sanchez sinks to the floor. His side have suffered defeat in their opening game of the World Games Men's Blind Football Tournament as Colombia beaten them by 3-0. Juan David Perez with 2, followed by Juan Gonzalez in the middle of the 2 strikes from Juan David Perez have seen Colombia win by 3-0 in their opening Group C encounter. It was a game for large parts where both were well and truly in it, but in the end it did just maybe show Colombia just had a little bit more class than Spain, but arguably the scoreline is a little bit flattering on the South American side. Defeat for Spain, but a win in the opening game for Colombia as we get to see the highlights of this encounter as Johan Ardila made a strong save to deny Sergio Alamar, who was the bright spot for Spain but ultimately couldn't score. But as we're just seeing these highlights now, Dixie, just sort of talk about the 30 minutes that we've seen of football. I mean, it was so fast paced. I mean,
yeah, we need
to take a breath, don't we, or two?
To be honest, Matt, like in the first half, Spain could have been 2-0 up. They could have been 2-0 up. If it hadn't been for the Colombian keeper, they would have been 2-0 up, and the game's totally different. So yeah, I think the scoreline is a little bit flattering as we look at the replays. But yeah, it was just a great game of football. We're shattered. We're sat down, and yeah, it was just frantic. There was something going on everywhere. It was perfect again as they come through again. There's another one there. It's a great goal. It's lifted into the roof of the net.
Well, that is the opening goal that was scored in this game, and he won the original challenge fairly, did Juan David Perez. He carried on going, came inside, then went from right to left, left-footed, bang! High beyond Severino Sanchez, who had 2 hands in the air to try and keep him out, but he could do no such thing. That was the first of the 3 goals they would score, and there was a memorable celebration to match, which he would do more than once in the game, having his left trainer sort of polished by his guides team, Jonathan Ramirez. Spain would then go close in the start of the second half. Sergio Alamar from the corner, same sort of distance, what we're talking about, sort of 12 or so metres out, struck one. Johan Ardila with a top-notch save to keep out Sergio Alamar and not allow him to equalise then for Spain. And you really would not have thought at this point in the game Colombia would go on to win 3-0 and Spain wouldn't score, but Colombia would score. Juan Gonzalez would get the very next goal as he was denied with this save by Severino Sanchez, who really all afternoon had to be right on his toes to make some important stops. The Spanish goalkeeper was instrumental in only seeing this game be a 3-0 one rather than a bigger one, as the Colombian chances just kept coming and coming in the second half. Juan David Perez too slick, too quick for the Spanish defence at times. Had a shot which went just past the post, and one that the goalkeeper Severino Sanchez was able to clip out for a corner kick with his left hand, which kept the score at 1-0 and kept very much Spain in the contest as a result. But then it was up to this point here where they felt that they should have had a free kick. Spain. Alamar Ferry was pushed just inside the Colombian half. They then ventured forward. Juan Gonzalez towards the sort of final third, left-footed beyond the left side of the Spanish keeper Severino Sanchez, and it would be 2-0 to the Colombians. That would pretty much put the seal on the game. But as we know, Colombia would not be done yet, as he was just able to beautifully with his left side just get the ball and able to just shift it on his side and get that shot away. There were good appeals and a good case for a foul, to be fair. You could argue for Sergio Alamar, but it went to nothing as just a few seconds later they were 2-0 down, but then they were 3-0 down. Juan David Perez would score a powerful effort which Severino Sanchez's left hand saved, but helped touch into the back of the net and go behind him. As Group C kicks off in the men's blind football tournament with Colombia winning by 3 goals to 0. 2 for Juan David Perez, 1 for Hon Gonzalez, as Colombia make their mark in the opening game of this tournament and in this group. It is full time here in the first match of Group C. It is finished Colombia 3, Spain 0.